Hello, welcome to another edition of Speak the Funk Up. My name is Corey Funk. Here's an interesting thing about me. I am a huge movie buff. And I was reading this, I'm hoping it doesn't happen to everything when it comes to the film industry now. I don't necessarily agree with a lot of the celebrities' opinions. I think a lot of them speak out of their asses. But do I ever want to see movie theaters or, as we've seen before, video stores go? Absolutely not. I worked in a video store, and I'd like to think, yes, we have a lot of movie remakes come out. Disney's run out of ideas. They're redoing a lot of their classics. Now the only remake out of those new ones that I liked particular was Jungle Book. I hated the Aladdin remake, hated it, because I love the original, the animated Aladdin. I absolutely, you see, I have the genie right there. Oh, and that's that typo negative symbol. But yeah, the genie is on my arm right there. Yeah. But I was reading AMC theaters and all that they're having some financial trouble. And I get it. It's going to be tough for a lot of people to go back to movies. I like the experience of going out to a movie. Don't get me wrong. I don't mind Netflix, and I've watched some of the movies on Netflix. But I don't want people to give up writing stories. I don't. I've had a few ideas for scripts. I've given a little bit of ideas on who I'd pick for the Batman scripts in one of my videos there. But I was a big fan of a lot of Westerns, like good old Clint Eastwood, The Outlaw Josie Wales, the Dollars trilogy, all those. Sam Peckinpah's A Wild Bunch. Other films I like that aren't necessarily Westerns, but I'm a big Francis Ford Coppola fan, especially Apocalypse Now, which is actually my favorite war film of all time, which, in my opinion, nothing against Robert Duvall that year, who was actually had a supporting actor nomination for that performance. In my opinion, Marlon Brando, who, well, yeah, he's won twice already, but his performance as Colonel Kurtz was haunting, and I would have given him the Oscar nom over Robert Duvall. Nothing against Robert Duvall, but Marlon Brando's performance of Colonel Kurtz, in my opinion, is one of the most underrated performances of any movie ever, and it's fucking haunting to me. But that being said, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I feel sympathy when they're in their multi-million-dollar houses. I watch interviews, and I know there's some I like and some I don't. I'm the first to admit that I think Meryl Streep is don't crucify me on this. I think Meryl Streep is an overrated actress. I think she deserved some of her Oscar noms, but I don't think she deserved the 21 movies she was nominated for, because there's some of those movies that I didn't think were that great. Like I said, don't crucify me. Bridges of Madison County is one of the only Clint Eastwood movies I didn't like. Sorry, these are just... Some people look at me like, how dare you say that about Meryl? Well, Meryl's kind of an arrogant, and yeah, she's nominated 21 times. It's just like, when will you go away, Meryl? When will you go away? I'm done with you. Don't get me wrong, there's an actress that I do think is a phenomenal actress, who I would say my favorite actress working today, is Cate Blanchett. She can't do a shitty performance. Her and Kathy Bates cannot do shitty performances. They fucking own everything they do. My favorite actor of all time was Jack Nicholson. If I had to pick a favorite actor working today, and if I had to pick a favorite, my favorite movie of the last decade, not of all time, but I would put it in my top 10 movies now, is a movie that came out directed by Nicholas Refn Weldon. It is 2011. It's called Drive. It has Ryan Gosling, and it actually made me look at Ryan Gosling and think that he actually has talent. But another performance in that movie that got looked over, and watch Albert Brooks in that movie as Barney Ross. He was a fucking badass in that movie. That's why I say he was, in my opinion, that was the best movie of the 2010 decade. Some people may agree with me, some people don't. It's my opinion of what I think is the best movie of the 2010 decade. The decade before that was The Dark Knight. And some people like shake their heads, but yeah, I love Batman movies. I love that story. I thought Heath Ledger did a fantastic job. But yeah, like I've recently just started to write on my script, The Vengeful Isle, and it's a western that I got the idea of. It's a western that was kind of influenced also by The Crow. Although like the guy's left for dead. He didn't actually die in it, but he's left for dead, and he has a old native guy come heal him up, and he goes on for a revenge spree type thing. That's like I said, it's a western that's influenced by the movie The Crow, and that's basically all I'm giving you on that. But I'm calling it The Vengeful Eye. That's the script I'm working on, and I think this quarantine thing, like writing this, will actually help me. And I think, you know what, if you guys want to write stories and all that, do it. Like, get our minds off these, like, I don't know, I think it's time that I actually did something. But I'm really hoping I could get this made eventually. I'm hoping that fucking movies don't just disappear, because we need new stories. We need to occasionally go out, and I it's just my opinion. And yeah, so yeah, didn't really know what else to talk about, but this is what I'm going to talk about. And I'm hoping to write more scripts, and I've been actually wanting to go back to school once this thing goes over, and I would like to direct. Yeah. Directing movies would be a cool thing. But like, I hope when this is done, I could find somebody like, look at Stallone with Rocky. You know, look at Stallone with Rocky. Fucking inspiring. And anyways, oh yeah, speaking of Stallone with Rocky, and I know I'm rambling, but I'm just going to anyway. Like, I have a view of Stallone with the Rocky movies and Stallone with Creed, and I personally think Stallone, I mean, I understand why he was nominated in the past for so many Razzies, because he's actually a good actor, in my opinion. When he picks the right roles, I'll tell people to watch movies like Copland, watch the Rocky movies. He does phenomenal in those movies. It's just he picks a lot of the same. He got himself typecast. And one thing I want to see Stallone in, and I actually read that at one point he didn't want to be classified as a bad guy, but I think if Stallone picked a mob boss role at this particular time, he's already proved he could act in drama as the good guy in the Rocky series. In Copland, he's already proved. But he's always a good guy. And Denzel Washington broke out of that with a Training Day. I think if he did something like that, just did a whole switcheroo and did a bad guy movie, I would love it. I think he'd do a good job. I'd like to see him as a mob boss. I mean, he's Italian. I think it'll work. But anyway, yeah, I decided I'm going to start writing my script. And I'm going to even try to, I'm not, like I say, I don't feel sorry for all movie stars. But I do want more new movies to come out, because I like to turn on the TV, watch a movie, and sometimes you need that escape. That's basically what I'm saying. That's why I decided I'm going to do this. I hope I could make something good that people could watch, and they could have an escape for a couple hours. I hope The Vengeful Eye does that too. It's a Western. There's going to be some violence. I've already made that. I'm not aiming for a PG-13 rating. I'm aiming for an R in the States and an 18 in Canada. Like, you can't get in unless you're with a grown-up type thing. I know some things will affect it, but I think some movies are meant to be that way. And this is a Western. It's going to have some, like, was influenced by, of course, The Crow, but like other movies like The Wild Bunch, The Quick and the Dead, The Outlaw Josie Wales, the spaghetti westerns. But yeah, I figured I might tell you, like, I've been thinking about doing this for a while, and I wish the best for you guys. Like, I hope you guys find something to get your mind off of these things, and yeah, when I'm done this, if this quarantine's done, I want to get this handed out to a studio and find somebody. Anyway, love you guys. Speak the funk up. Corey Funk. Bye.